Hi Kanika, hi Rachit. Hello everyone. How is your day going on? Is it interesting? Not interesting? You're there at your home. Obviously, it's not interesting, right? Kanika?
Hi Sanat, can you see me?
No, no, I can't see you. You are now Holoman right now. You have to switch on your video.
Yeah, let me just,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I can see you. We'll start. I have already started recording. Okay,
Okay, done.
that's great. Okay, so you have your paper bag right with you.
Yes, yes, yes.
So let's
So
start.
here
Let's
is
start.
my book
Yeah,
that I wanted to talk about.
yeah.
Yeah.
It matches your.
Outfit. Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so let's start.
Yes.
So guys, we are here because Kanika is here. So she's a wonderful person, and we had a session earlier. She writes about horror, fantasy, and poetry. And you see the combination poetry, horror, and fantasy, and a little bit of thriller and mystery. So it's beautiful because you see, if you choose different genres, right? So how do intermingle all these things into one beautiful book? That's quite a challenging. And her theme is about her story is about her the book is about Vikram and Vithal. The name you might have heard in your childhood, right? But it is not, correlated with that. It's a different story. It's a, new approach to the original story that was already there. So, Kanika, over to you. Please introduce yourself to our viewers.
So yeah, you've perfectly described my book. It's Vikram and Vittal. It's a play on Vikram and Vetal, but it's a modern day outlook, and it's not the same story with just a different twist. It's very different. It touches some very sensitive issues in our society, like child abuse, like black magic, and at the same time, it is written in a way which is very intriguing, where one person is narrating the story is in the role of Vetal, and one person is acting on the story is in the role of Vikram, and how it turns around is there to see.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So,
for
guys,
all the,
yeah. So,
yeah, please go ahead, sir.
yeah, so you heard about something about the plot here. You see, the plot is quite beautiful because there is someone who is listening and someone who is narrating the story. So the setup is quite amazing. So Kanika, we had a discussion earlier, right? So your setup is in the hills. Okay, so you when we people go to the hills, they want to have enjoy that play. They want to have that pleasure kind of mood. Okay, so they want to feel good about it because when you go from Delhi to the Simla, suppose, then you enjoy that, you want to create memories. So how did you relate? How can the viewers relate horror or fantasy or thriller, murder mystery with the hills?
So I wanted to bring a very contrasting view in reader's mind. Like you said, hills are associated with peace, okay, but something about them is hills are also related to desolation. You know, getting lost. Lot of amount of forest and everything, so it's also set up a hauntingly beautiful scenario for horror kind of books and movies. So that's why the placement was in hills. So something which is very peaceful can also be very dangerous, isolated, and a strange place to be.
So
Yeah.
guys, you are hearing, Kanika, she is a wonderful person, and her book Vikram and Vittal is doing quite great, and it is you are there in some awards. I mean, you are participating in some awards also,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
So
I have
guys, you
participated. Yeah, I have participated this year in 3 awards: Cherry Book Awards, the Author Awards, and Sharing the Story Awards. So in all the three awards, my book is listed in the best fiction genre. So yeah, I'm feeling really great about it.
that's great because you see writing about a book and then getting it published and going to the awards and being listed, that is quite great. So guys, if you are hearing Kanika here, so she writes this beautiful mystery and a thriller mystery with a murder as well. So here, but if you are going to the hills, please take her book along with you, because you see she is trying to create a different contrast to the hills experience, because hills are sitting green and beautiful, and in the Nilgiris hills are of course blue. That's a different side altogether. But yes, she is showing a two different personalities of of a single person, like something related to a freedom, or something related to in a joyful mood, and something related to both the different characters are there in one person. That's quite great, Kanika. So let's talk about more about the starting and the ending part of the book, because you see, when any viewer or any reader of your, any fan of your work, I mean, checks out the book, he or she will check the first starting and the ending. Let's tell about the more about the starting and ending chapters, if you can say.
So the starting chapter, we introduce our main antagonist, which is the supernatural entity that is there, and the murders are happening, and we don't know why what is happening and why. So first chapter will leave you confused, but at the same time asking for more, that you want to know what is happening and why it is happening. And the ending in between also, the chapters are not in synchronization, they're based in different timelines. So throughout, the reader goes into a roller coaster ride, trying to figure out, okay, what is happening, okay, trying to link the dots. But it is towards the end, when the dots are beautifully linked and all these timelines are merged, why these different people, what role they have in each other's life, we will know towards the end. So the climax is really something to see.
I'll not ask about I'll not ask about the climax, of course, but see, so guys, you can see here, so how she has, took the characters, took the plot, and intertwined them nicely, so that she has put you into work, so that you enjoy the the journey of the book from the starting cover to the ending cover. Because you see, when the readers are getting involved in the story, they will like it. That's quite great, Kanika. That is a good approach that you have taken to frame the book in that manner. That's quite good. So let's talk about about the realistic problems that is. So people are confined to their homes right now, right? Okay, so they want something, they want to go out and have fun. They have the want to lead a life that they led is maybe some 8-9 months back. So what will be your solution to that problem? How reading your book helps that, and how it helps them to clear their mind of all the negativities and come to the right positive frame of mind?
So first of all, it's a refreshing change. It's a fiction. A horror movie on Fridays is really good for giving you a break off from the workload and all those boring mundane routine. At the same time, this book, not per se the content of the book, but the idea that as an author, I also became this author in this entire journey of lockdown, will definitely inspire them to do something constructive, follow their passion. It may not be writing a book, it could be singing, practice singing guitar, something that they always wanted to pursue but couldn't due to lack of time or being always busy. Now that they're here working from home, you save time on traveling, or you save time on various things. Why not use that time to follow your passion, something that you always wanted to do?
That's a great advice, you see, because you see, when people are at home, they think that they are not doing anything, or maybe they are not doing anything productive. But your advice is quite great, because you are trying, you are telling the people to involve into their anything they had always in their mind, but they couldn't do because of time constraint. But they have a lot of time, they can do. That's quite a great advice from coming author. So let's talk about the problem in hand. So the problem in hand is that, okay, so people are if I can say the age group, right? So youth are now attending online classes. Okay, they are attending,
Mm-hmm.
they don't like it, they want to buzz off, and but they are forced to do it. But then they want to follow the passion of like you said, like anything it can be. So what was your journey like? How did you come into this, and how did you enjoy your passion of writing?
So online classes, I think it's a great way. I don't know why youth doesn't like it. It's a great way to upgrade yourself sitting in front of your computer. You don't have to go anywhere, you don't have to travel. It's a great time to do certification. I myself have done a couple of certification in this period of time, and a couple of certifications on the art of storytelling also. So yeah, it has helped me on my journey of becoming a writer. And then with a lot of technology available freehand in my time, I started writing articles on LinkedIn, like non-fiction articles about pandemic, about how it should be tackled in the right way. And people started supporting it. People started commenting that you should write fiction also. You should probably, or you should venture more into writing. And that's how I gained my confidence. So yeah, to the youth, I would again reiterate the same thing, that try try something that you always wanted to do. Maybe, start taking lessons on YouTube of guitar. I have also my YouTube channel there. I've started, with a couple of NLP lessons. That was my professional forte. So yeah, you can do a lot of things, and when people starts to appreciate you, it boosts your confidence. And like how, so whatever you are good at, make videos, upload them, write blogs about it, share recipes of cooking, do something constructive. You make use of technology, make use of time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great, because you see, your advice, goes direct to the my question is right. I have chosen the questions in such a way that so that people apply them in their practical life. So let's talk about your education background, and how as a personality, how it enabled you to write this book into your writing career. So I know that you were alumni of Sri Ram College, and you are Delhi as well. So let's talk about your life in your life in college. Okay, so how did it how did it groom you into the person you are right now?
Well, I was or to be honest, I was a very studious kind of a student in college. But yes, Delhi University is a very amazing place to groom you as a personality, because there's so many options available. There's so many fests that are going on, dramatic fest, dance fest, literature fest. And it is when once you're part of Delhi University, it doesn't matter which college you belong to, what percentage you have. You can, as an alumni of Sri Ram, I can always go to Hansraj College and take part in their dance competition. So it provides you with a lot of opportunities. It has a lot of societies. Every college has debating society, art society. So there is so much to do beyond just, education, or beyond just sports. There's so much of tournaments that keep on happening. So it really makes you come out of from a shy person to this confident young lady or young man, I would say.
So
So
that's
yeah.
great, because you see, so being part of a university and part of many colleges, you intermingle with a lot of people, and you know about a lot of people, their thoughts, their goals in their life. Though that is great. So let's talk about so let me give you a practical problem here. So the people right now, something parents are more into education, right? They are forcing their people, their wards to focus more on education and not more into the co-curricular activities, because you see, co-curricular activities is what you are right now, right? So your advice to
Right.
people that who are forcing their people words, and what will you say?
Well, I would say gone are the times when people only, when young children were only expected to crack IITs and IIMs, and only that they can, have a good career. These days, a lot of people are trying different things. You see many young people, with availability of open mics and forums like, the mic and all that. Uh, People are coming up. They're professionals, they're students who are trying their hand in stage comedy. So even that kind of profession is getting into limelight. So it is the right time to follow your passion, because these days people don't judge you, unlike earlier. And in 20 years from now, with education reform coming in, we will be totally following the pattern of West, okay, wherein co-curricular activities will be given equal, or even I would say more importance than just your academic records, like in US, like in Britain. So I think parents should definitely let their child follow their passion, because ultimately, if you're not good in physics, you might end up okay cracking IITs also. You might end up doing electronic engineer also. But what is the point if you don't enjoy that particular thing? You will never be able to reach the success until unless it is your passion. Or even if you've reached the success, you will not be able to enjoy that success. So yes, at the same time, I would say that focus on academics also. It's not like academics give you much more than just cracking IT and IIM. It gives you a, a class to talk, a class to walk, and everything. So yeah, academics have their own place, but co-curricular activities I feel are equally important, and parents of tomorrow should specially think about that aspect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. That's a great advice coming from you, because you see, these are trying times, right? So some reforms is happening from at the government level, and people are trying to adjust to that, because 80s and 90s that the trend was, IID and IIM, and of course after that NID and all those things. But now the trend is changing. That's quite great. So let's talk about the role that the youth can play in the current circumstances, because you see everyone is like self-centered, right? Okay, so everyone wants to achieve something, but their goals or their goals doesn't have much space for their contribution toward the society. So what will be your advice to youth of this 21st century so that they can contribute more to the society and the nation?
Well, the youth can always contribute to the society. There should be just willingness. It does not matter if you are willing. It's an old adage that where there's a will, there's a way. So there's so many forums, like in college you can associate with certain philanthropies. You can, in office there is CSR. So or if not something, you can always go on a Sunday to a orphanage and teach the children there, or you can work for street dogs. There's so many things that youth can contribute towards the society. And youth can also, again, I would reiterate the same thing, that youth can also contribute to the society. A major means is by working towards the GDP of the society. Don't just be selfish that we want to go abroad and contribute to the economy of US and Britain and Australia and Canada. Um, think of your country, start here, become an entrepreneur, have that entrepreneurial courage and risk, give people employment. That is the best way that youth can contribute to the society and economy. Yes.
Yes, that's great. That's great. So, let's. My question next will be about your book. Okay, so let's talk about the characters of your story. What the viewers can expect from the characters, because you see you have written something about more into thriller, but you are saying a horror as well as, and so then when the reader reads, right, so the dream, I mean the scenes are formed in their mind. So what they can expect, how the characters are, and how it will transform the life of the readers.
Okay. So, like I already told you, the two central characters, Vikram and Vittal, one is in the role of storyteller and the other is in the role of King Vikram, who's to take the action on the story. So there are certain other important characters. To give you a brief, what I'll do is I'll just read the book blurb
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that you get the idea of major characters. Okay. So the book blurbs goes like this. A ghastly creature is at large in a peaceful hill station. A multi-millionaire has been murdered long ago, and murder mystery is yet unsolved. A man with an harrowed childhood and an author who is successful is involved in this drama unwillingly. But this drama might give him the best novel so far. All these events happen in different timelines and cities, and yet are connected to each other like universe's own conspiracy. It's a modern day telling of a classic Indian folklore, Vikram and Vedal, but with a twist. So you see, there's a ghastly creature, the supernatural entity. There is a multi-millionaire who has a strong role to play in the book that I will not tell you, only the readers get to know. Then there is the storyteller and the author who is listening to the story. So how they are connected, if I'll reveal something more, so I would give away the plot of the story, so I don't want to do that.
Yeah, yeah. So that's understandable, and readers, you have heard Kanika saying, right? So she has something related to the supernatural element as well as a multi-millionaire is there, and as a storyteller is there. So all these different plots, subplots, and the characters are intermingled to each other, and it comes out the beautiful flower is born. So you see how she has intermingled these things, because that is what the beauty of a storyteller. So she is definitely the Dan Brown in making, if I can say, of maybe the horror genre, if I can say, or maybe mystery or thriller genre, I can say, Kanika. So let's talk about, Kanika, about your professional life. So you are a HR professional, right? So your
Yeah.
task is to handle people, to manage people, right? So, and you meet a lot of different type of people. So did these meeting the different characters and play important role in in the characterization of your story?
Yes, of course. As part of my profession as an HR, the three important skills that I must have is listening. I should be a patient listener because I have to deal with a lot of people, their problems day to day, complaints and everything. So, second is observing people. at time of recruitment, I must observe people if he's the right fit, what are his characteristics. And third is empathy. I should always have empathy with my employees. That is when I can give genuine solutions to their problems. If I don't feel their problems, if it's just superficial, I won't be able to help them. And all these things are essentially also important for a creative person, for a writer. When you listen to people, when you observe to people, that's how characters are framed in our mind. For example, I see a person in metro and he's talking in a certain way, and I find it very amusing. I might write a character on him. Okay, my character will now be a loud Punjabi speaker who will always be in a jolly mood, something like that. And empathy is very important to feel the emotions. A artist, a writer needs to be very sensitive. Okay, that's when he can feel the vices and virtues present in the society. That's when he can feel the pain of his character, and that's when he can beautifully write that pain in his or her own words. So yeah, all this has helped me. My HR career has also helped the author inside me.
So that's great, because you see, so viewers, you see, she is a HR professional, and she said about the solution she gave, practical solution about the current problems that you guys are facing, and her words of wisdom is quite great, and her words on the paper is quite great, because the cover of the book is excellent, the plot is excellent, the subplot is excellent, and the story is excellent. So she writes poetry as well, as so you can get a poetic feeling to it, because ending is important and starting is important, the journey is also important. So Kanika, any final words for our viewers? Please tell more about the book, why they should go and buy this in Amazon.
They should, if you're a fan of horror, or even if sometime you get bored from the regular romantic stuff and everything, and you're there for a roller coaster thriller ride, so you should definitely buy it. It's there on Amazon Kindle, and it's just for 49 rupees. And if you like to buy the hard copy, there is the publisher. Let me just zoom in into, it's called Words Brew. So Words Brew, on the Words Brew website, you will find the page to order the hard copy. You can just Google it. And I would also like to tell my readers that my next book is coming in January, which will be about something entirely different. It would be on, slice of life, romance, drama, poems, tragedy, heartbreak, and all those things. So it will be a mixture of all those musings into one this thing. So it's called Memoirs of My Imperfect Life. So watch out for that. Yeah, very soon I'll be releasing the cover around New Year. So yes.
That's great, Karika. So guys, you see, she's a poet. She writes horror mystery, and she creates wonderful, beautiful characters. When she's not working, still she immerses these beautiful stories, and she observes the people. She does her work. She balances her daily life, day quite beautifully. So Kanika, it was wonderful talking to you, because you see,
Thank you for having me.
I wish you win this award in all these awards.
Thank you so much.
You bring a lot of laurels to your friends, to your family. It's quite great. Thank you, Kanika.
Thank you so much.